2005 was the last year music still felt analog before streaming changed everything. These songs ruled radios, dorm rooms, and dance floors, only to vanish once their moment passed. From Sharissa's late-night soul to Amerie's explosive rhythm, these are 15 one-hit wonder songs that made 2005 unforgettable. Sharissa Any Other Night.
Any other night, you would have been somewhere.
You could almost smell the incense and hear the quiet hum of R&B stations when Sharissa's Any Other Night came on. It was warm, intimate, and perfect for slow drives through the city. But beyond BET and late-night slow jam rotations, the song never crossed into the mainstream. It became her one shining moment before fading quietly into the background of the decade. That quiet heartbreak faded, and in its place came a new artist backed by one of the biggest names in hip-hop, ready to take her shot at stardom. Teairra, Make Her Feel Good. There was something electric about 2005 summer when Rockefeller introduced Teairra. Her single Make Her Feel Good had confidence, rhythm, and the unmistakable polish of Jay-Z's Golden Touch. For a moment, it looked like the birth of R&B's next big star, but after the debut faded, the industry moved on. This track stayed her only visit to the Billboard Hot 100, sealing her place among the year's one-hit wonders. And while Teairra's story was one of hype that vanished too soon, the next band found fame by channeling the restless pulse of mid-2000s alternative rock, the Bravery and Honest Mistake. For anyone who lived on MTV2 and wore skinny ties, the Bravery's An Honest Mistake was pure adrenaline. It belonged to that small window when indie rock actually made the radio. But after the buzz wore off and the Killers dominated the scene, the Bravery never returned to the charts. One single, one glorious flash, and they were gone. From pounding guitars to club chaos, the next track took 2005 by storm with a sound that shook dance floors everywhere. Brooke Valentine feat. Boi and Lil Jon, Girlfight. If you remember the crunk era, you remember Girlfight. Brooke Valentine's fierce anthem played like a spark in a room full of gasoline, loud, unapologetic, and full of swagger. It blared through clubs and radio stations, but once the crunk wave faded, so did Brooke's career. The song became her lone moment in the spotlight, frozen in the energy of 2005. When the noise settled, a softer voice stepped in, one that reminded us that quiet emotion could still make an unforgettable hit. Howie Day, Collide.
The dawn is breaking.
You could not escape Collide in 2005. It played in coffee shops, teen dramas, and prom playlists, wrapping every listener in the ache of early love.
Somehow find you.
Though it first dropped in 2004, its slow burn made it one of 2005's most emotional hits. But Howie Day never found another song that connected the same way, leaving Collide as a single, timeless masterpiece.
Collide.
That quiet heartbreak would not last long though. The next artist brought a rhythm, percussion, and fire that made everyone want to move again. Amerie, One Thing. The summer of 2005 belonged to Amerie. One Thing blasted through every speaker like a burst of adrenaline, driven by raw percussion, funky guitars, and her urgent, breathless vocals. It was energetic, feminine, and bold, the kind of song that made you roll the windows down and move before the first chorus and even hit. Its go-go rhythm was fresh and fearless, a Washington, D.C. influence that suddenly became mainstream. The single peaked at number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and even earned a Grammy nomination, but the success was lightning in a bottle. None of Amerie's later singles could match its power, leaving this track as her defining moment, a timeless reminder of how rhythm alone could dominate an entire summer. And where Amerie made us move, the next voice made us stop completely, a singer whose quiet honesty became the soundtrack to late-night reflections. Nalick, Breathe.
2 a.m. and she calls me 'cause I'm still.
You remember this one? It was the song that played at the end of every emotional scene on Grey's Anatomy or during those long, quiet drives when the world felt too heavy. Nalick's Breathe was soft, slow, and filled with the kind of honesty that made you pause for a second.
Just
Released in late 2004 but peaking in 2005, it became a surprise radio hit and an anthem for anyone stuck between growing up and falling apart. But when the moment passed, Anna disappeared from the charts, leaving this song as her one immortal confession. From quiet reflection to teenage obsession, the next group on our list made bubblegum pop cool again, if only for one perfect year. The Click 5, Just the Girl. The Click 5 showed up with matching suits, clean haircuts, and hooks so catchy they could have come straight from the late 90s. Just the Girl was pure pop sugar, bursting with charm and teenage heartache. It peaked at number 11 on the Billboard Hot 100 and had every school dance DJ spinning it on repeat, but as the boy band wave crashed, so did their momentum. This became their single flash of fame before fading into nostalgia playlists.
For more than an hour.
That kind of innocence could not last long though, because the next song on our list was the total opposite, a wild electronic tune that somehow conquered the entire planet. Crazy Frog, Axel F. You could not escape it. That bizarre frog sound blaring from phones, malls, and every ringtone on the planet. Axel F by Crazy Frog was chaos disguised as a melody, a novelty that became an anthem for the early mobile era. It topped charts across Europe and even broke into the US top 40, proving that sometimes absurdity can sell millions. But once the ringtone craze died, so did Crazy Frog's career. The noise stopped as suddenly as it started. Just when it seemed music could not get any stranger, Atlanta delivered a sound that ruled every club and car stereo that year. D4L, Laffy Taffy. If you were anywhere near a party in 2005, you heard it. Laffy Taffy by D4L bounced through speakers with hypnotic beats and goofy lyrics that everyone knew by heart. It defined the ringtone rap generation, where fun mattered more than flow. The single shot to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100, but fame came and went almost overnight. The group never found another hit, making Laffy Taffy their only trip to the top. When the laughter faded, something different took over the airwaves, a rush of nostalgia wrapped inside a trance remix that hit both clubs and radio. DHT, Listen to Your Heart. Late in 2005, Belgian duo DHT brought Roxette's classic back to life with their trance version of Listen to Your Heart. It was emotional, soaring, and instantly familiar, giving new energy to an old favorite. The song reached number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and played everywhere from weddings to nightclubs. But like many dance acts of the era, they could not follow it up. This single remains their one unforgettable crossover hit.
Listen to your heart.
While DHT gave us heart and melody, the next artist reminded everyone how much a simple song about a bad day could change everything. Daniel Powter, Bad Day. You could not turn on the radio in 2005 without hearing Daniel Powter's Bad Day. It was the song that made you feel seen on rough mornings and soundtracked countless American Idol elimination montages. Its piano riff felt like a hug and a sigh at the same time. The single hit number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100 and dominated pop culture for nearly a year, but Powter could not recreate that same spark again, leaving Bad Day as both his breakout and his legacy. Just when emotions were running high, another soft-spoken artist arrived, ready to turn heartbreak into something quietly unforgettable. James Blunt, You're Beautiful.
My life is brilliant. My love is pure.
There was something haunting about hearing James Blunt's voice drift through car radios in 2005. You're Beautiful was simple, heartfelt, and unapologetically romantic. The kind of song that made time slow down for 3 minutes.
You're beautiful.
It topped charts worldwide, including the Billboard Hot 100, and became one of the most recognizable love songs of the decade. Yet as quickly as it rose, Blunt's chart presence faded, turning this emotional ballad into his one defining hit.
You're beautiful, it's true.
But just when pop radio started sounding too emotional, one superstar turned sweetness into swagger and gave us something completely new to chant along to. Gwen Stefani, Hollaback Girl. When Gwen Stefani dropped Hollaback Girl in 2005, it felt like a pop explosion. Marching band drums, bold lyrics, and an unshakable hook turned every car and school hallway into a party. It was more than a hit, it was a cultural moment. The single became the first song in history to surpass 1 million digital downloads and spent weeks at #1. Even though Gwen was already famous from No Doubt, this solo track defined her career and stood as her one undeniable pop anthem. Then came a song that needed no introduction, a track that never really left the world's playlists. From dorm parties to wedding receptions, it kept playing long after its release. The Killers' Mr. Brightside, released in late 2004 but peaking in 2005, The Killers' Mr. Brightside became a modern anthem for heartbreak and resilience. Its opening guitar riff and Brandon Flowers' frantic vocals captured everything about early 2000s youth, loud, messy, and full of feeling. The song reached #10 on the Billboard Hot 100 and refused to fade, returning to charts years later and becoming one of the most streamed songs in history. For many, it is more than a one-hit wonder, it is a time capsule that never stopped playing. From heartfelt anthems to ringtone raps, 2005 gave us moments that still echo through time, proof that even one song can leave a mark forever. These were the one-hit wonders that defined 2005, each one a spark that burned bright before disappearing into memory. Which of these tracks takes you back the most? Drop your favorite in the comments, hit subscribe, and join us next time as we revisit another year in music history.